So when we all were in school or even through grammar books, whenever talking about the past tense, we were taught that I, he, she, it always takes a was, and we, you, they always takes a were. But today I'm going to talk about using were, but not in the past tense, into something that is called as the subjunctive mood in English. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, then keep watching, stay tuned, and don't miss this video. Everyone, I'm Devika and welcome to a new episode on our channel. And as I said, today we are looking at another, a different use of were. Okay, so look at this phrase, if I were you. Now, as I said, when talking about the past tense, we use was with I was something. But here you see I have used if I were you. So this is ideally not referring to the past tense. This is something where we speak about the subjunctive mood in English. Okay, so before going further into the subjunctive mood, let me explain this entire scenario to you. This idle use of were in this situation, that is when not talking about the past tense, is when we are trying to give advice to somebody. We say that we are imagining ourselves in your situation. We are keeping ourselves in their position. Say, for example, you want to advise your friend about something. So you tell them, if I were you, I would do something. So this is what the subjunctive mood is all about. So the truth is that you are not your friend. Okay, the reality is that you are you and your friend is your friend. Okay, but here you're imagining. That's because you're giving an advice. So you say, if I were you. So you see, the imaginary situation results in the use of were even when talking about the present tense. You might say that knowing how to use it can be complex, but it's not the case. There's a very simple formula to use this or to remember how to use it. Okay, so if you begin your sentence with if I were you, it is ideally followed by a comma, followed by I would, followed by the verb. Okay, so for example, you can say, if I were you, comma, I would study more. Okay, so if I were you, so you're kind of giving an advice. Okay, you're imagining yourself in that person's position. You're saying that if I were you, I would study more. And another formula wherein if I were you is at the end of the sentence is I would followed by the verb if I were you. Okay, so I would go to the doctor if I were you. So say your friend is not well and you want your friend to go to the doctor, to visit the doctor, then you can say, I would go to the doctor if I were you. So you see that we always used if I were you. We never used if I was you. So this distinction is what refers to the subjunctive mood, that is the use of were in hypothetical situations that are contrary to the truth, that is not real, but it's all imaginary, especially when giving advice. So this kind of hypothetical use of were refers to the subjunctive mood in English. If you studied harder, you would pass the test. Now this sentence is also giving advice, but it did not make use of if I were you. That is because the person is not imagining himself or herself in the other person's position. This is a direct advice that if you, what I feel is that you should study more and you're more likely to pass the test if you study more. So it's a direct advice and you're not saying that you're imagining yourself in that person's position. So this kind of advices would not take if I were you. Same sentence, if you want to use if I were you, you can say, if I were you, I would study harder. So you're imagining yourself in that person's position and you're saying, if I were in your position, I would study harder or I would study more. If you had studied harder, you would have passed the test. Now see, this is talking about the past tense and it is not kind of giving an advice. Okay, it's stating something that if you would have studied harder, like before in the past, then you would have scored better or you would have cleared your test. So in this kind of a sentence, we do not use if I were you. These kind of situations where you're talking about a possibility and in the past, like something that has occurred in the past, you wouldn't use if I were you. But you can use if I had been you. So this sentence that I just said can be written as, if I had been you, I would have studied harder. So this also says that if I had been in your position, if I had been in your place, I would have put in more effort and studied harder and cleared the test. So when talking about the past tense, and if you want to say that you are imagining yourself in a hypothetical situation, imagining yourself in that person's position, then use if I had been you, I would do this. But if you're talking about the current scenario, like you're suggesting your friend to go to the doctor, to study harder or do something, then create the subjunctive mood and use if I were you and say if I were you, I would do this. So in the present tense, if I were you sounds better, and if talking about the past, make use of if I had been you. I hope this video has made it clear as to what subjunctive mood is all about, how you can express yourself or give your advice in hypothetical situations, and how you should be correctly using if I were you and when you should be using if I had been you. Okay, so I hope you know the distinction now. If you're still not sure, you can leave your questions in the comment section and I'll definitely address that. And also I'll be glad if you try making some sentences with if I were you. Let's see if you've understood the concept and what hypothetical situation subjunctive mood is all about in English. So this is about it in today's video. I shall wrap it up here and I'll see you again very soon with another interesting video. Till then, take care of yourselves and see you soon. Bye bye.